Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking you on a journey from absolute noob to root, and we're going to master Kali Linux safely. Look, I get it. Cybersecurity can seem incredibly intimidating at first glance, right? But I promise you, it absolutely doesn't have to be. Because we've all been there. You install Linux thinking you're going to be this elite hacker overnight, but instead, you accidentally break your Wi-Fi, completely nuke your bootloader, and you're just stuck. So you go online looking for help, and you get dropped into some ancient forum where a guy named Skullroot69 unironically tells you to just build your own kernel for fun. It is so frustrating. But the problem isn't that the operating system is impossible to use. The problem is that almost no one teaches it like a normal human being.
You always hear people talk about the Linux learning curve, but let's be real here. It's not a curve, it's a vertical cliff. You expect this nice, smooth, gradual ramp up in knowledge. The brutal reality, though? That's spending 6 hours sweating over your terminal, trying to get your audio drivers working, only to realize your laptop speakers were literally just muted the whole time. But here's the secret. Once you finally scale that cliff, you don't just use your computer anymore. You actually command it.
So let's bypass a massive chunk of that cliff right now. You absolutely do not need to install a brand new operating system on your main hard drive. The easiest, safest, and honestly smartest way to start is by just downloading a pre-built Kali Linux virtual machine. You just go to kali.org, grab the VirtualBox file, extract it, and hit run. Boom, that's the whole shebang. You skip the entire setup process, no configuring usernames, no agonizing over hard drive partitions. You just run it, and you're instantly sitting inside a professional hacker's operating system.
But hold on a second. Before we even think about typing a single command, we need a safety net. And this brings us to a really brilliant concept called the snapshot. It's exactly what it sounds like, a literal save state for your virtual machine. If you make some disastrous error, like accidentally deleting a critical system file or just totally locking yourself out, you can instantly revert back to this exact safe moment. Taking a snapshot means you will never ever risk breaking your actual physical computer. Think of this virtual machine as your ultimate safe space to learn, experiment, and completely break things without any consequences.
All right, so with our safe space completely locked in, there are a few essential things you've got to do right after booting up. First off, open your terminal and run the apt update and upgrade commands. This just ensures your environment has the absolute latest security fixes. Second, create a standard, low-level user account. You really don't want to run everything as the root super admin all the time. That's actually a massive security risk. And finally, go ahead and install a solid code editor, like VS Code. It's super user-friendly and it's going to be perfect for managing all your future scripts.
Once you've got those basics down, it is time to give yourself your very first visual superpower. Because honestly, managing a bunch of standard overlapping terminal windows gets incredibly messy really fast. Enter Tilix. It's what's called a terminal multiplexer. Basically, it lets you split your screen vertically and horizontally so you can run multiple sessions side by side in one single window. Not only does this make your multitasking ridiculously efficient, but it honestly makes your desktop look and feel exactly like a real, high-end cybersecurity workstation.
Okay, so our workspace is set up, we're totally secure in our sandbox, and we definitely look the part. But all of this brings up a fascinating question, the one everyone actually wants the answer to. How do hackers actually gain remote control over another machine? Let's pivot into the action here and see exactly how the professionals are doing this under the hood.
So how's it actually done? Well, here's a breakdown of a real-world active reverse shell hack using the legendary Metasploit framework. It basically happens in 4 clear steps. First up, the attacker generates a custom payload. Think of it like a disguised malicious script using a builder tool called MSVenum. Step 2, they host that payload on a really simple HTTP server. Step 3, they open up MS Console and set up what's called a listener. It's essentially just quietly waiting for a connection on a very specific port. And then step 4, the exact moment the target executes that file, it silently connects right back to the attacker's listener. Boom. This opens a reverse shell, granting absolute control. From that point on, an attacker could log keystrokes, view private files, or even pull up a live, real-time screen share of the target's desktop.
Now, full stop. Before you get any ideas about trying that out, we have to talk ethics. These methods are absolutely not meant to be used on anyone or anything you do not have explicit written permission to test. Period. Cybersecurity is all about understanding these vulnerabilities so you know how to defend against them. You only use these superpowers within your protected virtual machine sandbox or on networks where you are formally legally hired to conduct penetration testing. So with that out of the way, how do you actually build up to executing complex frameworks like Metasploit without making disastrous mistakes? Well, let's contrast the completely wrong way to learn with the right way. The wrong way is trying to install some insanely complex distro like Arch Linux on day one, or playing Russian roulette with your hard drive by blindly copy-pasting random terminal scripts you found on Reddit. Guys, that's not learning, that's just cyber self-harm. The right way is gamified learning. Sites like linuxjourney.com are amazing. They teach you the core basics in these bite-sized, highly interactive lessons. And then, once you grasp those basics, you level up to actual war games, like Over the Wire's Bandit. It uses these really clever mini-puzzles to force you to use real Linux commands, but in a totally safe, puzzle room-style environment.
Now, as you play through those games and really start learning, you are going to get confused. And that is 100% normal. When you do hit a wall, you have 2 new Linux Bibles to rely on. If you don't understand what a specific command does, literally just type man followed by that command, and it opens the full manual right there in the terminal. But if that manual is way too dense, which, let's face it, they often are, just install and use TLDR followed by the command. It gives you a quick, plain English summary with actual examples. Because guess what? Real hackers do not memorize every single command perfectly. No way. They just know how to search and read documentation incredibly effectively.
So now that you've got the actual roadmap to go from noob to root, I'd genuinely love to know what your specific ethical hacking goals are. Are you looking to become a professional penetration tester, a network defender, or are you just exploring all this stuff out of sheer curiosity? Share your thoughts below. Let's turn this space into a real, interactive community of learners.
Okay, before we officially wrap up this explainer, I've got one final, incredibly valuable security tip for your safe space setup. When you're using a virtual machine, it is so tempting to just enable the shared clipboard and drag and drop features between your main computer and Kali Linux just for the convenience. But listen to me, if you value your privacy, do not do this. A shared clipboard can easily and instantly compromise your anonymity. Instead, keep those environments completely 100% isolated. If you need to move stuff around, use secure SFTP client tools like WinSCP for transferring your files safely.
Which leads us perfectly to a final, pretty wild thought to chew on today. If something as simple and completely mundane as a shared copy-paste clipboard can completely compromise your digital anonymity, what other hidden vulnerabilities do you think are lurking on your machine right now? Cybersecurity is just this massive, fascinating, ever-evolving puzzle. So get that virtual machine set up, keep experimenting in your safe space, break things, fix them, and most importantly, just keep learning. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.